feeling myself. Ain't no chance I'm coming down, no. Got a soul view to myself, yeah. Why would I give it up? Why do they wanna come take my place? I work too hard for it, don't need a replacement. This my vocation, now I got rollies, all in rotation. Hop on a jet just to take a vacation. Remember the moments was trapped in the basement. Now the hard work is all taking me places. Squatting on bed like we trapped in the matrix. Bet on myself and go ball out in Vegas. Living a life like I'm rich and I'm famous. Don't see the grind that I know that it came with. I ain't make it this far for myself, I had to prove to everybody else, I had to set them straight, I had to boss, I had to renovate. I know they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. Yeah, they hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate.
What's up, y'all? Burn Live, y'all. Merv Wanley keeping y'all connected. Hashtagging these red eyes, changing the viewers. I red, keeping underage, smoking off social media. Definitely killing myself for your entertainment. Sitting here with friends and family, starting a cannabisation. Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever time you're watching us. Just appreciate you people stopping through. and tuning in. Hope you get your blunts, your weed, your joints, whatever you need to smoke with, chill back and relax and enjoy the show. If you feel in time that you want to put some down in the comments, please put some down in the comments. Hey, like this, subscribe, hit the like button. Y'all know what to do. Do the YouTube thing, do the Facebook. I'm on all platforms today. There's no need to explain it. Shout out to Rumble, shout out to X, shout out to Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. My big wonderful family. She'll have a special she'll have a guest coming through. Sam Cook said he should be stopping through sometime soon. Be on the lookout for 95210. He got a special location where he wants to do interviews. Hopefully be going down over there. So be on the lookout for that. More things is coming to the channel. Stay tuned. I have been updating marijuana news that happens in your neck of the woods and wherever you at. I have been uploading it just to let you know this is where it's at. This is where it's been going down. So now that I got all of that, hold on, I'm having a little technical difficulty. Just lost my Instagram. Don't know why, but it is what it is. So anyway, y'all, to get on with the show. We ain't got too much time. We're gonna play a little music in the background. Oh, it was just a mixed version. I didn't know what it was. I be trying to just play a little instrument, something to rock it to get you a little bit motivated. You know, some people have a good opportunity to play music. You know what I'm saying? They keep to the underground. I'm not really with the underground. I just keep a little instrumentals playing in the background, something that y'all can vibe to, something you can ride to, something you can smoke to. Definitely always felt like some podcasts is out there. Not gonna lie to y'all, some podcasts out there who need a little music to spice up their talks and their conversations. You know what I'm saying? Still making sure that everybody's able to be heard. Still think that is capable of what we need sometimes. So, you know, most likely I'm just try to have some nice little music playing in the background and trying to be popping for us and actually giving us something that we need. Other than that, y'all, today is the 20th. You know what? Today's Thursday. Look, it's so many days. It's so many days. I don't be knowing my days. I don't be knowing my days. I don't be knowing my days. Oh, and I just hated on myself playing that, huh? I just turned myself over to one of my pages and was just looking at the title that they pull this up. See in the middle, that's the live stream that we are right here. And I was looking, I was like, so I didn't do that. So when they find that and put that up there, I'm not mad at them. I'm not even gonna lie. I am not mad at them. It was just a little curious of thumbnails. And I appreciate the YouTube and all these platforms that work with me actually pick out my thumbnail, because I'm horrible with the thumbnails, y'all. I'm real bad with the thumbnails. I really should be trying to put these thumbnails together and put them up there, but nope. I just get a nice little title, roll a nice little blunt, nice little jig.
Purchase your track today.
Hey, then I want to come in here and just, spit and talk and have a conversation with you guys and bring y'all to live marijuana news and conversations going on. I'm supposed to have set days for certain stories and certain things I want to do Monday through Friday. Actually, Sunday through Friday, I had set days. And then my job just threw a wrench in that to where it's going to be hard for me to bring you the content like that. So I got to work on a new strategy. I got to work on a new strategy to see how I can bring this to you guys and bring y'all some more content, because I do live streaming y'all. I do like talking to y'all about these conversations. I did want to go over the big old conspiracy theories on my Mondays, but my Monday just got booked with a couple of little extra plans that wasn't too certain.
Purchase your track today.
I don't know how we're gonna play that, man. Do not know how we're gonna play that. I'm dead gun. Snow in the background. Hey y'all, I picked the beat, true indeed. I did not know this beat was gonna be like this. Y'all, I can agree sometimes when I hear other podcasters, especially as low budget podcasters, and we guys are speaking on things and we're speaking our minds, and you may not agree all the time with what we say. And I do agree. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's not always going to work out like that. I get it. I get it. But sometimes I feel when we are taking care of something serious, like voting, for those who take that serious, and this is a serious matter, I think procedures is procedures. Even though we're in new territories with the both candidates, but this argument over speaking mic and campaigns and the debate, which some people think the debate won't happen, some people think it will happen. It really, I'm not sure. I'm not really understanding what's going on. So therefore, I'm gonna let CNN break it down to y'all. Cause I'm like, we really finna have a argument or a discussion over the debate, which, you know, most people think that we're not gonna even have in the first place.
Harris set to debate on ABC for the first time September 10th. But how the debate will look, still up in the air. Both campaigns have been accusing each other of not agreeing to certain rules. This week, Donald Trump suggested he was open to some changes from the rules that were set for the CNN debate.
Would you want the microphones muted in the debate whenever you're not speaking?
We agreed to the same rules. I don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'd rather have it probably on, but the agreement was that it would be the same as it was last time. In that case, it was muted. I didn't like it the last time, but it worked out fine.
Now, a spokesman for the Harris campaign tells CNN that both candidates agreed on leaving the mics unmuted.
Our preference, along with Donald Trump himself, is for unmuted microphones. I think the question that you'd have to ask is to Donald Trump and his team, are they in agreement between themselves on how we should approach this debate? Because we are in agreement with Donald Trump that these should be live and unmuted microphones.
All right, joining us now is Jason Miller. He's the senior advisor to the Trump campaign. Jason, welcome back to CNN this morning. Thank you so much for being here. Why do you want the mics muted?
Well, we've already agreed to the rules that we had with the CNN debate, and not only have we agreed, but the Harris camp has agreed as well. We had the rules last week. Both sides agreed that we would stay with the CNN format, which I thought both Jake and Dana did an excellent job. I think CNN as a network did a very good job, very fair job with the debate, and we hope that there's the same performance on ABC's end. But then, strangely, over the weekend, the Harris camp decided to change their minds and want to try to make an issue out of the already agreed to format. And Casey, I think really what was going on, I think is a bit more sinister. I think that the Harris camp was trying to come up with a distraction on the 3rd anniversary of the horrific killing of 13 Americans at Abbey Gate in Afghanistan. Of course, Kamala Harris was the last one in the room for that decision with Joe Biden. And I think that that's what this was all about. They wanted to distract away from Kamala Harris's accountability on that issue because both sides had already agreed. We've agreed again. Rules are locked in. They're the same as it was for CNN.
Are you afraid that if you unmuted the mics, the debate would be worse for Mr. Trump?
Well, President Trump is going to be fine regardless of what the format is, but it's already locked in. That's the whole point, is that it was agreed to, the same as it was for CNN, the same as it will be for ABC. And both camps had already agreed to this. In fact, the Harris camp came back with a whole host of other changes that they wanted. But let's put this distraction aside. This is about Kamala Harris finally being held accountable. She can't be talking about the future when she's the one who created the nightmare that we're currently living in. She created the problems with our economy, our border, the global chaos, and you can't be asking for a promotion when really voters should be voting you out of office.
Jason, I also want to ask you about something else that we saw from your boss, Mr. Trump.
The mic's on. I guess when I don't know, people have got their own real reasons of why they see that this argument is going on. And I'm looking at the argument. I'm trying to look at the argument from both sides. I'm like, okay, why does, as you heard, Trump now really don't care, but they just sound like, hey, we had some rules, don't be switching them. Because, that just looks weird. Why are we switching them? Point blank, we just asking. We just going to make a hoo-la. Then you want to look on Kamala's side and be like, I need to switch them a certain way, then maybe the rules, because maybe I want to get a gotcha moment, or I want to be able to tell you to shut up in front of, Black people power of telling people shut up in a room full of other people is wonderful. I think I seen somebody had a clip where she was like, shut up, I'm talking. So I think that was kind of funny. I think that was kind of what you're looking at, is that what she wants is a shut up, I'm talking moment. And if that's the case, then yeah. That's what they're going for. Shut up, I'm talking moment, which I'm not sure. But yet again, even just to have this debate, have this discussion over who's going to be talking, when we're going to be talking, if the debate is even going to happen, it's not getting to the core. And then both sides are going to be talking about, we don't, the other side, one side's not talking about policy, the other side not talking about policies. We're not getting nowhere in life. I put a poll out on my Facebook page. Can I even do a poll on her? I thought we could. I thought there was a way to do polls. I guess not. I guess not. Because I sure been asking questions, just wondering about people in gas stoves or electric stoves. Which one of these would you like? Which one of these are y'all into? But let's get back into this real quick.
Trump, he posted a pretty crude, reposted a pretty crude image or comment, I should say, about Kamala Harris, the sitting vice president. It also mentioned Hillary Clinton, who, of course, Mr. Trump ran against in 2016. What would you say to the vice president of the United States about the comment that he reposted?
Well, I saw the social media post. I have not discussed that with the president. I don't know if the president even saw the comment that was on there or simply the picture. But I would say with regard to Kamala Harris, the attacks that have been levied by Kamala Harris's, both the campaign, by Harris allies against President Trump, not just recently, but over the past year and a half, 2 years, ever since he came down the escalator, quite frankly, in the case of many left of center people, have been quite horrific. All of this, though, Casey, is a distraction for the real issues that are going on right now.
What was reposted? I mean, I mean,
100 times worse, Casey, 100 times worse. And here's the thing, there's social media posts.
But they haven't
we're
been
talking
sexual
about
in
issues.
nature in this way.
Again, I haven't discussed that with the president. I don't know if the president even saw the comment that was on there. That's not something that I have asked. But we have real people who are struggling with inflation that is hurting this country, with the border crisis. President Trump was just at the border this past week, honoring those who've been killed by this migrant invasion. Jocelyn Nungary and Rachel Moore and Laken Riley, three names I do not believe we'll hear from Kamala Harris at the debate on the 10th. That's assuming that Kamala Harris shows up to the debate, which I imagine that she will, because Americans deserve to hear why Kamala Harris has been in hiding for 39 days. Of course, we'll hear from Kamala Harris and Tim Walz when they sit down with Dana to air this evening on CNN. And look, Dana's one of the best in the business, if not the best in the business. I don't think Dana will allow Kamala Harris to hide behind Tim Walz. I think Dana will ask Kamala Harris why she thinks she deserves a promotion and why she hasn't done any of the things over the past 3.5 years that she says that she'll do in the future.
Jason, before I let you go, I want to ask you about one other issue, one story that there was a Politico story about a new book that's set to be published next week from your boss, the former president, that says that Mark Zuckerberg, the head of Meta, plotted against him during the 2020 election, and that the Meta chief executive would, quote, spend the rest of his life in prison, end quote. We also, of course, saw Zuckerberg sent a letter to Congress expressing regret about some of the things Facebook did during the last election around misinformation. Does the former president feel this way about Mark Zuckerberg? Does he believe that he should go to jail?
Well, President Trump certainly had a right to be angry at the time, and especially looking back at the the censorship that went on in 2020. I mean, they used this guise of Russian misinformation to outright censor a story that turned out to be very true with the Hunter Biden laptop. And it did manipulate the election. In fact, a post-election study for the Media Research Center said that 1 out of every 7 Biden voter would have looked to go a different way, possibly to President Trump, if they knew about the truth of the foreign business dealings and everything else on Hunter Biden's laptop, specific to Joe Biden and the international.
And is this a jailable offense in your view, in the former president's view?
I'm not a lawyer. I'll leave that up to the lawyers to go and decide on that. But I do think that there was blatant election interference, and there should be some accountability to that. It can't just be a talking point from the left. People have to be held responsible, especially those 51 intelligence officers, for intentionally, very specifically, knowing that that was a lie and pushing this Russian disinformation hoax. But again, the important thing here is it's not back in 2020. We're talking about the future, but a future where we're going to have record low inflation, a secure border. We're not going to have these wars popping up everywhere. And that's where I think the difference is in this campaign, is that President Trump's going to put more money back in people's pockets.
What's up? Hold on.
I want to see that what you was watching.
But he's telling them exactly how he's going to do it. We don't know from Kamala Harris. Maybe we'll find out from Dana tonight how she's going to pay for any of her plans.
All right. Jason Miller, thank you very much for coming on today. I appreciate your time. Hope you'll come back.
Thank you so much.
So what you think about that? Even
That's
though
about
the end of it.
Kamala Harris talking about cutting on mics, cutting off mics, and not caring about what's going on and who and all this stuff. Just a bunch of arguments on CNN, but wasting people's time. For real, for real.
Hey, you know what? So much crazy
Why
shit
you like
going
that?
on out here in this world. Hey, that's liable to fucking win.
Huh?
So much crazy shit been going on in the world. She liable to win.
What would you name this crazy stuff that's going on in the world?
I only say it like this because this is just how I felt about it. When in the very beginning of the race, when Trump first became president, I felt like Trump was just doing something because he could. I didn't even think he was gonna win. I'm just like, he just doing it because he can, because he got bread.
I think that's a lot of people.
And he won. But when he got in office, to me, I can't speak for nobody else. To me, he did his thing. I didn't expect that coming from him. You know, me even knowing that he's a businessman, I didn't think it through. I'm just thinking Donald Trump, you know, until I started seeing the shit that he actually did. The nigga smart.
So you trying to say that
But
a man that works at a shoe store couldn't run for president and maybe win?
and shit, the way it's looking right now, anybody could win. I just know from back in the days of me growing up, everybody had strong ties to politics and like relations with other presidents and shit like that. So for Donald Trump to just jump in, you know, it didn't seem normal to me. It seemed like some, you know, some new age shit. And so now with this Kamala Harris, I mean, in the back of my mind, I feel like, okay, do the United States want a woman to be running this shit? Because I feel like, you know, it might make a motherfucker think a nigga weak. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just a lot of crazy shit just been happening. So I'm like, shit. And Trump got so much shit going on with him right now. But I mean, I don't think that really mean nothing. After the last race, and they wanted to have the motherfuckers count up all the votes and everything. Even before then, just in my mind, I always felt like, you know, all right, they tell you, okay, you could go vote, but we still gonna pick who we want. I don't really believe.
So nobody never told you that maybe you can become a president one day?
Oh yeah, of course. You know they say shit like that all the time. They say you could be whatever you want to be.
Oh,
And that's
okay.
true. If you did all the things that you need to get there, then I believe it's true that a motherfucker can actually do whatever it is that they want to do. Barack
So yet
Obama
again,
did everything in life.
go ahead.
Yeah, Barack Obama did everything that he was supposed to do growing up through life to make everything look good, and had strong ties with, you know, politicians and shit like that, and he did it. But so yeah, I believe anybody could, but not me right now, but because of, you know, the shit that I've been through going through life. But I
Why not you?
probably,
Just because of things you do, use a true testimony of what not to do and explaining people this is the thing that you not do. This is how you would want to clean up the streets. This is a good path forward. You know, you might be one of the best testimonies out here to show people what to do and
probably
what
for
not to
another
do.
position in politics. I don't even know if I could really get into politics. You know, I never really looked into it because of my background, so I don't really know if I could really do it. So it's something I'm unsure of.
Yet again, because of your background and the thing that you've been through, I feel like you might have probably some good ideas if you in a wage or want to clean up some streets, because therefore you've been in the streets.
Now for that route, yeah, and I only say that because of I do want to start a nonprofit organization for children, and I was speaking to an attorney I had when I was going through my federal situation, and that's something that she actually had brought to my attention. She a judge now, but I asked her, I was like, you know, would you put in a good word for me? She was like, after you show me everything that you told me that you wanted to do, then I will, but not before. And she was like, you know, you would be a good candidate for it because of you know, most people that'll pop out that just, I'm gonna just throw a school out there. It could be any school, but let's just say some cat from Harvard read a bunch of books, never been in the streets though, and come over here trying to explain to these kids some shit. They probably gonna take a lot more from me because I don't live the same life y'all live. I done been there and done it. So, you know. But as far as the politics go, like mayor and all that other stuff, like governor, and they ain't fucking with the kid. I can't even have a weapon to protect myself, so, or my family. And I think that those rules need to change. I think that felons should probably be able to have a weapon.
Hell no.
Listen to me though. I don't think that you should be able to leave home with it. It should be something just to be able to protect your family. And I believe that you should have to go through some type of mental health shit to see like where your mind is before you would even be able to do that. But never to be able to just carry on person like everybody else and shit like that. Just only in the house just to protect your home. Because I feel like it's fucked up that just because I committed a felony in the past, I mean, don't necessarily mean I'm crazy and I'm gonna go shoot up the world. It's, you know, but there's some people that's wild like that. But I still do believe that I should be able to protect my family at home if somebody came and tried to do something. Because somebody come in here with a gun and all I got is a kitchen knife, like shit, what the fuck?
You better get the tossing that mug across the room.
That motherfucker. I mean, hey, but I'm just saying, you know, I feel like, you know, it should be some different rules attached. Like I say, I don't think that felons should be able to just move around in the city with weapons.
Too many people have messed it up for y'all.
Yeah, they have. They have. Because, I mean, it's some people that go to prison that go for other things, and there's some people that's just kind of fucked up in the head. And the people that's fucked up in the head, yeah, they fucked it up.
Yeah. I'm not sure how true it is. Don't quote me on this, but it's a story that Kamala let some killer out and he killed somebody like within 2 weeks later.
I seen that on TV. But this is my thing though too. Like you can't fault somebody about that because when it's somebody's time to get released, it's their time to get released, you know? So and you can't say that just because of, all right, you committed a crime, now it's your time to get released. Well, I don't know what you're gonna do when you go home. You might go home and do great. Or you might go home and do some wild shit like that. So I mean, she's not a mind reader.
I mean, we expect that for everybody when we release them. You know what I'm saying? We're not saying that as soon as we release you, we're gonna keep a mind on you because you're gonna be that specific one to come back up in her. No,
Yeah, so
that's not.
like I feel like they can't fault her for what that man did when it was his time to get out. Because when it's your time to go, it's your time.
How you know she? But yet again, the thing is, if you let out a person a little too early, or you,
it's like this. It's like my first time getting locked up. They'll look at it like this, like, okay, well, you haven't did too much. You don't have no failure to appears because of this is the beginning. So, okay, so all right, we're gonna let you go and let you come back to court on your own and stuff like that. And who are they to say that when I do get out for that a little bit of time, that I'm not just gonna go do some shit? I mean, you can't really blame that on her. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
I'm not blaming it on her, but it's just like decisions like that with consequences following up like that. You see, like the last time that we talked and how we had that little discussion between George Floyd. Now you look at George Floyd as a black man who got killed innocently by a police officer. And I look at George Floyd as a black man who's a criminal, who had a criminal background, who did
but
something.
Since you had a criminal background, did that give him the right to do what he did? Because that's not normal police procedure.
But yet again, in that same token, maybe the procedure wasn't right, but did that give him a right to commit a crime to even get the police called up on him?
When they called the police, I don't believe that he actually committed a felony crime. I mean, it was probably somebody felt
Yet
threatening and
again,
called the cops or
you
whatever the
want to
case.
go to felony crime. It's not about a felony crime. At that time, he was
It's
committing a
it's
crime.
like
That's
this.
why they called on him.
If me and you are having an argument outside of wherever, and just because we going back and forth, but I hadn't did anything to you, but we going back and forth, the police can be called. And so now for them to come and use brutal force and do that to me, I hadn't done anything to you. Me and you just had words back and forth, and that's what I meant between the felony crime and they didn't get called for an actual situation of him actually like harming somebody or doing anything fucked up.
No, they got called on him because he gave out a fake $20 bill.
Okay,
to
see,
the
I
clerk.
know, but let's leave that alone and go back to that woman that we was talking about. See, that day I didn't really speak too much on it because I didn't really have too much information on it. After we talked about it, I looked it up the next day about that woman that got killed. I know you've seen a whole lot more lately on that. I hope you did.
Not lately because I still have my opinion on it, and there's
So,
nothing going out there that's really going
and
to
that makes
change it.
sense. But so they did their investigation
Uh-huh.
and said that the cop actually knew the woman. They ended up investigating a little bit more. The woman had psych problems, and she would go to
The hospital.
whatever little psych hospital that's in her area, right?
Yeah, James told us on the about that.
And
So how
so
they got into it prior
got
before
into it
hours
with the
before
police
that.
officer's girlfriend.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Okay. So yeah, get into it with the police officer's girlfriend, and then the police officer's girlfriend ended up leaving work early, whatever the case may be. And now on this particular night, as soon as you see this woman, you crazy bitch. Where'd that come from?
Yet again, he didn't call her that, so
Well, that's what I saw.
That's what you saw. Are you sure? Because I sat right here and watched the whole video.
From I didn't get to see the video from the other officer's body cam. Now the actual dude turned his body cam off. Why? Only God knows. But what I did actually see, the people that were speaking up on it, that's what they said that he said when he very first came in. I didn't see it on video though. I never did actually see the video.
See, I watched the video from the time that the lady opened the door and discussed it with him. I seen his camera when he turned it on right before he shot her. Because people like, oh, he didn't turn on his camera until after he shot her. No, that's not true. He turned on his camera right before he shot the lady.
Pull it up for me, please.
Huh?
Can you pull it up?
Oh,
it might be a little difficult to find.
I really didn't want to go deep off into the video, but okay.
Because I'm misinformed. I want to see it.
I mean, all you gotta do is just look it up. The police cam.
I have to check it out a little later then. So I can't really debate too much on that topic because I'm misinformed.
Yeah, but that's not the point of the whole conversation. Is the fact that people in certain positions can't just say that, okay, now that I got this lingering over my head, I can't make nothing of myself. Okay. Yes, you can look at Barack Obama. Yes, you can look at Trump.
Well, I'm not saying I can't make nothing of myself, but do you think that I could be in that type of position? I don't know.
You personally, maybe not. But if you put yourself into the willpower and you did the research and you came back maybe a year later, I'm like, look, this is what all the research, bing, 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 and you dropping knowledge, ain't no telling where you can be.
True.
It's no telling who you sit down in front of and have lunch with and have the right conversation and they pull the right strings. You never know what letter you can write back to a judge and say, hey, judge, this is what I'm doing with my life. Can you help get this felony expunged from my case? And a judge say, yes, expunge it from your case, which that can't happen. See,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of things that y'all can do in America, and y'all be forgetting that y'all can't do it. Y'all just keep looking at y'all damn skin color and know that y'all look like burnt ass chicken and think that y'all can't do stuff, which is dumb.
Well, I don't really look at just because of my skin color. I just look at, the choices I made.
I don't give a, and I say this to a lot of people because I don't know your background, but yet again, I still speak to you like you're a human being. I don't speak to you like you something else. I don't speak to you like you a felony because how do you speak to a felony like you're a felony? You see what I'm saying? There's really nothing like that. Only time somebody know that is when y'all express yourselves like, hey man, my background. When somebody go into their background the way you do, then yeah. Okay, yeah, he did something. He did something. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. When you see a black person pull up with a straight, fresh, clean white t-shirt, just a white t-shirt, yes, you think dope dealer. It's in the movies, and then what we do on the streets? We copy what we seen in the movie because we thought it was cool. You see what I'm saying? Like the image match a profile that accidentally we put into a movie, and then we really blow it up out of proportion. But I'm not saying
Probably
that
for some
you,
people.
huh?
Probably for some people.
Okay.
I don't think so for myself, but maybe for some people, I could believe that.
Understandable. But yet again, I believe if you really wanted to be something major, a DA, a senator, or a mayor, or something like that, yes, you would have to work way harder than the next person that probably don't have your same background. But can you be
Way
one?
harder
Can
because
you
it's
get,
just the same way that they use these things against each other when they going through races. They gonna find it all out and they gonna have it all over the desert. Did you know that? Whoopty whoop.
yeah, I knew.
This and
But see,
did
the
that.
thing is, and a person in your campaign, if I was your campaign manager, I'll be ahead of that. Yes, we know he's a felony. When you see what he did, nonprofit, you see how he goes out here and shake everybody's hand. You see how he starts a lawnmower. You see how he's ready to get rid of taxes the right way and not scam the people. You know what I'm saying? It's the image that when you talk to the people and how you carry yourself.
What you think that Trump not getting rid of them the right way?
Say that one more time.
You think Trump not getting rid of taxes the right way?
If you can lower taxes by still growing the economy and making money for the economy, I think that's kind of getting rid of the taxes the right way because you're putting something in the place of where you're going to get this money from to do what you need to do to give these people these tax breaks. You just can't say, hey, I'm going to give the middle class a tax break and give them $300,000 and expect nobody that's economically super smart gonna ask you, okay, so that sounds like a good idea. Where does money coming from?
Shit, they been just printing money forever. That's the reason why it ain't backed by gold no more.
Okay, see, yet again, y'all love to go with this, oh, they can just print money. Yet again, when they print money, that
That's
printed
why the American
money
dollar
is
ain't where it's at, that where it should be no more.
okay. Yet again, I'm gonna repeat myself. When you print money, you're gonna tax that money that gets print. It's gonna come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Somebody's gonna work off that money that we finna print.
Got
So
that right.
yet again, I'm gonna ask you, where the fuck y'all think that taxpayers' money gonna go when you talking about a taxpayers cut for the middle class only? Or yet again, I would like to ask some of these new first time builders when you get this $300,000 loan from a bank and talking about you ain't got to pay it off. Who the hell you think is going to pay that off for you? Or how much you think your interest rate is going to be when you think you had to pay back on that house? on a $300,000 house, and it turned out that it's really 800,000, or it's a little bit over $1 million.
Because of after the pandemic, everything went crazy because of all the money that was given away. But if he didn't give that money away,
That's not because all the money was given away. It's because nothing was open to produce the money to rotate. When you handed out these people a check, was nothing open to go spend it on.
Oh, they were spending it for sure.
Okay, yeah. I understand y'all gonna say like the dollar stores and the grocery store, but I'm talking about the natural money.
Cars, them niggas was buying jewelry, them niggas was buying some of everything. Some of the smart people was investing in the businesses, some of the smart people.
Okay, yet again, I really don't see nobody buying jewelry when there was no jewelry store open during the pandemic.
Well, I'm from the streets, so I'm around the motherfuckers that make bad choices and do shit like that. And they did.
Sir, I'm from the streets too. Only way you was probably buying jewelry is if you bought it off somebody else.
I'm from the streets of Las Vegas, so I was here in Las Vegas around these people. You in Las Vegas and you ain't really in the streets.
Okay. Yet again, I'm gonna talk real logical. And know what was going on, because I was out here in this stuff just like anybody else. Only way you was buying jewelry is if you was probably buying it off somebody off the streets. Now, that's me admitting that, yeah, you buying streets, but you wasn't going to no store buying jewelry because they was not open.
They was only not open for so long. And then they end up having the mandates where they end up putting the glass up, only so many people could be in at a time and all of that stuff. So the place is open back up. They just had strict rules.
Notice how you said open back up.
Yeah, they were closed for a little bit of time, but
yeah, during the pandemic, it was shut down. They was not open.
Makes sense.
So therefore, I'm gonna go back to what I said. The money had nowhere to rotate. Only people that got money was grocery stores and maybe a couple of dollar stores and stuff like that. Yeah, some places was getting money and they really couldn't rotate the money back and invest into the goods because ships was closed, shipyards was closed, and stuff like that. Bigger places where when you invest in your money was closed. There's still ship containers down in Florida that hasn't been touched. That's on a 8-month, 2-year backtrack. Cause they like, oh my God, they were doing a pandemic. They don't want to touch it. They think, that voodoo curse that they're gonna get it. Oh, we're gonna get it COVID if we touch the container. Okay. Don't touch it. Ain't no telling who stuff in there, who blown what and where. That's what I mean by rotation of the money. I'm not saying that people couldn't go do things, because yes, anybody can do anything you want to.
Did the economy get better though?
No man. Huh?
Did the economy get better?
No. The economy did not get better because, yet again, groceries got high when stores opened back up. We got into a war. Gas prices gas price was almost $7 out here.
Okay.
Almost $7 out here.
Get that shit though, right? People was
a
lot
of
want to go get it because Donald Trump gave motherfuckers extra bread. Here, take that.
And yet again, Trump didn't even give it to y'all. Nancy Pelosi gave it to y'all. A Democrat gave it to y'all because.
All right, we could say.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Whatever you say. I'm sorry.
The bill got passed. And people were spending that shit. If they didn't spend it, what did they spend it on? You think everybody spent it on drugs?
No, I'm not saying people didn't spend it. I'm saying the money didn't rotate.
I know
you couldn't invest that money.
Dollar stores and the grocery stores, but I mean the grocery stores didn't even really have shit in them. You know how many people got EBT?
Yet again, so you're steady proving my point that the dollar that you got handing with the stimulus didn't have nowhere to rotate. It didn't have nowhere to go.
People just kept that shit in their pocket the whole time and just stacked. Well, I mean, what are you saying?
I'm saying grocery stores didn't have nowhere to invest to go get
You think
brand
that
new
all
fresh
these street
products.
niggas just
All
went
your
and
product,
spent their thousands at the grocery store and dollar store?
all the product that you got during the pandemic was all leftovers.
Question. All the street niggas, I'm just go to street niggas just in general. You think that all the street niggas that had that bread, niggas that was doing EDD, having hundreds of thousands and all of that shit, you think that they was just going to the grocery store and dollar store spending their money?
No, most people bought their stuff online, Amazon and stuff
It's
like
still
that.
getting spent.
Huh?
It's still getting spent. It's still putting back.
Okay. Yet again, everything that you bought damn near during the pandemic were old and leftovers. Nothing could be rotated unless you was natural and you were new. Now, anybody that was young and investing in something natural and new, yeah, you was making a little bit of money because everybody had the need to want to spend the money. But after a while, when you grew your company so far, you couldn't go invest in like, man, I built this out of my closet. Now I need a building. You couldn't go get a building during the pandemic. It wasn't that easy.
Shit wasn't closed that long though, is what I'm saying. What was
We
shit
closed
closed
for a
for?
whole year and a half, damn near 2 years.
Okay.
I was working at White Castles on the Strip.
How was you working at White Castle on the Strip if that shit was closed?
I wasn't. Shit was closed.
Now the Strip,
We
okay.
closed down March 30th.
Think about the Strip. COVID's going on. You think all these people, the Strip really only make money not from people like me and you, but from people that come from out of town.
From tourists, I know. It was because nobody
So
touring here.
how many people want to tour during that type of time? There's that's the thing that I speak about, me being from Las Vegas. There's a whole lot of other shit that's going on in Las Vegas besides that little piece of street.
I know that. Everybody know that.
Everybody don't know that.
Who
You
don't know
live in
that?
Las Vegas, so you see, but everybody don't know that. I
Who
go to
don't know
other
that?
places and motherfuckers ask me, what casino you live in?
I mean, for people that don't live here, yes, they think that the Strip in Fremont that's all that's out here. I do get that. But I speak realistically. I walked these damn streets during the pandemic because there was nothing to do. I filmed on the
So
street
for like a whole
and
year and a
had the
half, 2
security
years,
guard.
like
Huh?
so like a whole year and a half, 2 years, just nothing open. Just only what? Gas stations and Walmarts.
Gas station, Walmart's, Family Dollars. Yeah.
And that was about it.
McDonald's. And it, like I said, once again, if you was getting anything during that time,
You was probably
getting
ordering
gold
online, but
product.
you still at the end of the day, companies is making money. People still was being able to buy alcohol. People was buying food from fast food restaurants. Is getting delivered to them. They're not a delivery drivers is getting money. It's moving around.
It's moving around. Okay, sure. Okay.
If I'm going to spend, that's the normal shit that people going to do anyway. Get shit from McDonald's, DoorDash, Walmart, motherfucking gas station. That's just the norm. Throughout the day, name something outside of that you do normally.
Let's talk about during the holidays when you want to go get those.
Okay, you can't answer that one now. I like that.
I just answered it.
You talking
I just
about something
answered it
else.
right
Let's talk
there.
about during the holidays.
I said, what about those holidays when you can't go get those special little gifts and special little things, the 4th of July, the little flags or the little pumpkin and Halloween and stuff, or Christmas and a Christmas tree, or you can spend.
You can still buy online and the shit gonna come to you. It's still the delivery driver that's gonna get paid too. The company got paid, the delivery driver got paid, you got what you wanted. Everybody got paid, everybody happy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure. If that's what you think.
So you couldn't go online and get that?
What?
You couldn't go online and buy those type of things?
I don't know. I don't remember. Actually, to be honest with you, but you probably could. You know what? You probably made it at home by yourself. Oh, let's make a St. Patrick hat and wear it around the house.
I
Oh yeah,
mean,
stay 6
and that
feet
was
away
cool
from me
too
too.
because of with all this technology, that's what a whole lot of motherfuckers low key need to sit back and do family shit and arts and crafts and whatever the hell, you know.
Oh yeah, and don't forget 6 feet. Don't touch me.
I mean, yeah, that's why I said when a lot of the places open, they had the strict rules of only so many people could be in at a time, and y'all have to be this far away and woo wham. But I mean, but shit was still going on, and just from the numbers, you know what they say, numbers don't lie. The economy did get better.
It did.
It did.
So even though inflation is still
You
at
do a whole lot of research. I mean, you could go check it out right
so
now.
even though the inflation is at a 3.6 right now, we talking about better when better would be like a 1.5 or under 2, right?
All
When
right,
Trump was in
Biden is
office
the
before the
president right now.
pandemic.
I'm speaking on Trump's presidency.
Trump president had it under 2. Under 2.
Show me something.
1.8,
Show me the facts.
Bro, that's easy. That's easy look up.
Yeah,
Now that's
okay.
easy. Your Google probably can tell you that one.
It can pop it out for the people. We on live. Let's just show the people.
Man, my audience been seeing that. We come
Okay.
out, sir. We
My
sit
bad.
here
You
on
right.
hours and hours and hours and
You
go
right.
over
My
these
bad. I
stories.
apologize. You right.
That's why I'm like, hold on. And you got Kamala and them. I think they're what, like I said, a 3.6 right now, the economy. But yeah, it has got better when it was at 8 point down to 6. Yeah, that got better. But gas price out here is still what, $4? California is still $5, $4.63, something like that. Okay, that's $4 for some gas, $20 for a half a tank. Meaning that most of these big companies probably paying. I think last time we did some research where we look up, guys, $30 a barrel when they were used to paying $8 a barrel. Okay, economy doing good. All right.
Everything costs a lot more.
$20 for one meal. When I think it used to be what, $5 for a meal?
Yeah. You're right. It's now everything is a whole lot more expensive than it used to be for sure. Rent. Yeah.
In other states, I know in other states, you got grocery stores leaving states. You got grocery stores, Targets, Walmarts leaving metropolitan states because they're getting robbed so bad they can't make no money.
Well, I mean, shit, that been going on for life.
Huh?
Yeah. Where I grew up at, it was that been going on for life. Where I grew up at, it was a Vons right behind our neighborhood. And so what you think all the motherfucking kids and the smokers did? Tear that motherfucker up. And this was at me as a kid. This is years ago. I'm 38 right now. So at Magic Johnson owning that motherfucker. And it took a toll on their ass and shit. They had to close that motherfucker.
So that's
had nothing to do with a pandemic. It's just life.
You talking about Vons that's still here and around, right?
That Vons, that specific location is what I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, we talking about
So when I go to it, I'm talking about location.
Right.
Every Target is not gone from here.
So we're talking.
We gotta be thinking about locations because every Target is not gone. There's still Targets here.
And what I said is in other states, not just here. In other states, you got places like grocery stores actually packing up and leaving.
Okay, you might be talking about a small town that had one Target.
Huh?
You might be talking about a small town that had one Target.
We're talking about a big city that's leaving. That Targets and Walmarts and grocery stores are leaving. Huh? Chicago.
Are you saying that they have no more Targets and no more Walmarts?
I'm saying in Chicago,
They
And
have no more Targets and no more Walmarts.
can I finish, or you want to
Yeah.
cut me off? Which one is it?
I'm just asking a simple question. That's what I want you to answer.
I'm going to repeat myself one more time. In Chicago, you got grocery stores, Walmarts, and Targets packing up, leaving the state, making it harder for these people out there to find groceries, get their insurance, and get their medicine and stuff. They got to
Now,
go
like I
way
said,
across
back in the
town
day,
now.
me as a kid, these places were packing up, leaving the state, not the whole franchise, but certain places. So if you can't tell me that every Walmart and every Target done left from out of there, then we speaking about the same thing. Because I'm not telling you that every Vons done left up out of here, but yeah, it's a lot of them that have been getting crushed, and not just Vons, Albertsons, a whole lot of different places. Like, but it's the location.
Yeah, if y'all put something in a bad location and y'all keep robbing me, I'm up out of here. Yes, that
Okay,
is
so
true.
that's
I
pretty
am
much
down
what's
to
going
do it.
on probably out there in Chicago.
No,
I'm
they're
pretty sure it's
actually
not the
leaving.
whole franchise. I'm
The
pretty sure it wasn't
government,
every single Target and every
the
single Walmart.
mayor has actually came out and said that he's going to put in back in grocery stores that are going to be ran by the government to try to replace the Walmarts and Targets and the grocery stores that are leaving up out of there. This
But
is something
that
that
still
I ain't gonna
says
lie,
nothing about you
I
saying
never
that every
heard of.
single one of them left. It might be some that did, and they
Okay,
were probably in bad locations.
check this out.
You can go around what I'm saying all day.
I'm not going around with you saying. It's just
You're
like
not
you're
answering
not
me
one.
straight up either.
You're not really listening. You like
I'm
you don't.
listening to you. I
You
hear
don't
you
want to
very
listen.
clearly.
It's like so be quiet and listen.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thought it was hard for you to do. But if we was all on the west side, and west side has maybe 2 or 3 Walmarts, 2 or 3 Targets, and maybe like 4 grocery stores, if all of those packed up and left that whole one side, that's a economically affect the people on that whole one side of town, because now they got to travel not just maybe to the next one that's still on the west side. Now they got to go way maybe on the north side. Maybe now they got to go way on the east side. Now they got to go way on the south side, somewhere that's totally out of that direction. Spend twice as more money.
And you're
yes,
right.
that's
And I'm glad that you
an
said
effect.
that, because when they stopped that Vons, that was all that we had, and we had to go to the north side or somewhere else. And this was
Okay,
back in the
so
day of me
stuff
as a
like that,
kid.
yeah, that's
This had
bad.
nothing to do with a pandemic.
That's still bad, period.
Exactly. And you're right. It is bad. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just
But
telling you
I'm
that
the
shit
only
like
reason I'm
that
talking
happens
about after.
in everyday
I
life.
ain't say nothing
It
about
has
a
nothing to do with a
pandemic.
pandemic.
I didn't say nothing about a pandemic. I didn't say nothing about a pandemic. Y'all see this? Phone cut out because you know I was right. Come on, y'all. I didn't say nothing about a pandemic. I'm saying that when we have these problems, these are problems that we look at. These are problems that we see. These are problems that actually affect the economy. I want to be nope, not coming back. That phone died on him, y'all. The phone died. It was a good show though. Good conversation with him. Let's see. Good old. I keep trying to tell y'all, when y'all come on here with me, make sure that phone is charged. You got to make sure the phone is charged. You're going to get in a good conversation and stuff like that. And I like how Sam Cooke comes on here and like wants to represent the streets, and I'm not from the streets because I'm not from out here. Like he really want to rep that so hard, so tough, like that mean anything. That street life that you done got out of jail and came back to. It's not nothing to brag about. Not nothing I would brag about. I wouldn't even bring that up in a conversation like that's some big power move. You holding that credit over somebody's head. Because all somebody do is gonna find out and gonna say is they got a hood that's bigger and badder than yours. And then y'all be up here trying to represent hood and who hood the toughest, which I don't have time for that. I know I've been out here in these streets seeing the rugged just like everybody else. I seen the good, I seen the bad, I seen the ugly, just like everybody else. I went through this stuff just like you, just like everybody else. We're gonna chill and hopefully he come back. Got 1 more hour left, y'all. What is it, September the 11th is the debate, big old day. I hope I'm off that day. Other than that, I'm gonna go live. Even if I'm here or not, I will be going live. Trying to see what little news I can find for y'all real quick. Yeah, let's watch this.
Georgia.
We wanted to come by just to let you know that our country is counting on you.
A new set of Fox News polls showing Harris and former President Trump neck and neck in Georgia. Like previous polls, the results, all within the margin of error, also show a razor-thin race in other battleground states. The Trump campaign, meanwhile, defending its visit this week to Arlington National Cemetery after being criticized for politicizing hallowed ground.
What a horrible day it was.
The campaign had posted this highlight video on TikTok showing Mr. Trump laying a wreath in honor of the service members killed at the Abbey Gate bombing in Afghanistan 3 years ago and posing with some of their family members.
It's not Disney World, it's Arlington National Cemetery.
Part of the dispute, a reported altercation between campaign and cemetery staff over photographs being taken at the site. The Trump campaign says an Arlington staffer decided to physically block members of President Trump's team during a very solemn ceremony. A cemetery spokesperson points out that federal law prohibits political campaign or election-related activities within Army National Military cemeteries. 4 military family members praised their interactions at the ceremony with staff and Mr. Trump, telling NBC News they did not witness an altercation. Kelly Barnett's son, Marine Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover, died at Abbey Gate. She invited the former president to Arlington.
Trump's team was great. Arlington team was great. They were both respectful to us.
For its part, the Harris campaign is calling it a sad episode, adding the former president has a history of demeaning and degrading military service members. Though the vice president herself has not commented, Mr. Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, had some choice words.
She wants to yell at Donald Trump because he showed up. She can go to hell.
They gonna make this.
CNN's Priscilla Alvarez with us now with more on the Harris campaign. What's the latest? Well,
What's
they
the
say, at
latest?
least in terms of the debate, that the matter is resolved. Now, of course, she is going to be hitting the campaign trail this week. She's going to Georgia. That's an important state for Democrats. That's one that President Biden only won by less than 12,000 votes in 2020. And so they want to replicate that and more this time around, which means a lot of visits to the state. What's going to look like this time is a bus tour and concluding it with a rally with the vice president on Thursday. Now, this pace of travel may seem like a little less than it was over the last several weeks, where the vice president was blitzing all the battleground states. The reason for that, I'm told, is because they want to put a lot of focus on the debate preparations. Of course, there has been this behind the scenes feud about the issue over the mics. And now that former President Donald Trump has said that he is open to it, the Harris campaign feels as though the matter is now put to rest. What she is doing behind the scenes, however, is familiarizing herself with the former president's record, with his statements, doing practice sessions, and essentially just doubling down on these preparations, not leaving it until the week prior to go into depth on these issues and policies. So this is another moment, essentially, where they see an opportunity to have a large audience and especially bring in those grassroots donations, which have really come in and they've capitalized on these key moments.
Yeah. Donald Trump characteristically sort of de-emphasizes how much prep he's doing, even if he's doing some, but she's clearly doing quite a lot. Priscilla, thank you. Boris?
Let's talk about the race for the White House with Larry Sabato. He's the director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia. Larry, great to see you as always. I want to ask you about something that two Trump pollsters mentioned, including Tony Fabrizio, a veteran of previous Trump campaigns. They were talking about Kamala Harris's lead in certain national polls, and they were saying that they were not focused on that, especially as they're showing Harris pulling ahead. They want to keep their eye on the ball. So what do you see as far as the 7 swing states and where polling is there? What does polling indicate to you about where they stand?
Well, Boris, it's usually a cop-out to say everything's really, really close and everything's a toss-up. But, sometimes it's true. And in the case of the 7 swing states this year, I think it honestly is very, very close. Now, nationally, right now at least, Harris has a lead. You can argue about what it is, a point or 2 or 3. But of course, as we've learned over and over, certainly in the year 2000 and then in the year 2016, the popular vote doesn't matter, except in individual states. It's the Electoral College that matters. So if that's what they mean by the big picture, then I get it. Although I have to say, all politicians, and certainly Trump fits into this, they will cite the polls endlessly while they're leading. And if they stop leading, or it's a close case and they had been leading, you won't hear them mention it, or they'll diss the polls and call them inaccurate. Lyndon Johnson used to carry the polls, the newspaper clips of the poll results in his pockets until he started to fall in the polls, and then his pockets got clean.
Larry, we noted a moment ago on a graphic that Crystal Ball, your analysis, switched North Carolina from leading Republican to toss-up. Tell us more about that.
Sure. Well, there are a number of reasons for it, including the fact that Harris has restored the enthusiasm and energy to the Democratic Party, and it has affected North Carolina, which is a very closely divided state. You wouldn't believe it from the election results because the Republicans almost always win. Obama was the exception. He barely won in 2008, but Democrats have won the governorship frequently there. Now, what is happening right now is that you're seeing it even up. The pieces of North Carolina that are more liberal, that are white collar, college educated, centered around major cities, they have become more Democratic, even in the last 4 years. And so that's balancing the rural areas. The rural areas are more important in North Carolina than they are even in a number of the other southern states. So again, it's close. What I think is the critical factor, at least so far, is the fact that you have an extreme Republican candidate running for governor. And even the Republicans privately describe him as extreme. He says all kinds of outrageous things. At one point he denied the existence of the Holocaust, and that's just one example. And he's causing so much distress for the Republicans that he is discouraging some of them who may not show up to vote or might even vote Democratic. These things matter. Little things matter whenever a state is really close, and North Carolina is in that category now.
Really interesting to hear that the lower part of a ticket has potential impact for the top of the ticket. Usually we hear the inverse, right? I was curious about another bit of your analysis about the popularity of an incumbent president determining the outcome of an election. Obviously, Harris doesn't technically count as the incumbent president, even though she's running to stay in the White House. How is incumbency factoring into this election, given that Donald Trump is a former occupant of the White House, too?
Yeah, this is very scrambled. No question about it. It's very scrambled. There is no real incumbent, but there are two quasi-incumbents. Maybe it cancels one another out. Donald Trump, the former president, I've often wondered if Grover Cleveland had some of these same problems when he ran after losing for a term. And Kamala Harris, so while she lives in the Naval Observatory, she doesn't live in the White House. She does have an office very near there. And so she is a quasi-incumbent. But one thing that we've discovered that I think most people have forgotten is that people really don't associate the vice president with a number of the president's policies. I think that's true in most administrations. Why? Because logically, people say a vice president doesn't make the decisions. He or she is there to cheerlead for the president when the president makes the decisions. So they're listening to her to see where she's different, what she might do differently, what her approach is. And that's been helping her.
Yeah, an unprecedented election in more ways than one. Larry Sabato, appreciate the analysis. Thanks so much.
Fresh drama and the
Fresh drama. They got a fresh drama, y'all. I'm getting up off here, dog. I love y'all. Till next time, it's the Brian Law Show. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We out.